All right, this is day 3 of the second week. I'm recording this the day after, and my God, I am sore. It's mainly my hamstrings and glutes, and then a little bit of my upper quad. But yeah, so doing panda pulls here. I really like this exercise, and I really like how all the weights were moving yesterday. So we're doing 6x3. I started with 80. 80 was moving super quick. And now we got 90 here, and then 100 here. And then the top sets I do are 110 for 3 sets. So I also like this way of doing it, where you've got 6 working sets, but you're building up to 3 top sets. Because it means, and the weights like the 80 and 90s, it's a bit more speed strength. I'm moving that weight extremely quickly. And then the high ones like the 100 and 110s, kind of overloading it, so it's not moving as quick. But obviously there's a lot more force being produced. In saying that, I actually feel like I pulled these 110s pretty high. Yeah, so pretty keen to keep progressing these over the next few weeks as, they're a really fun lift. And again, it's going to help me practice actually bringing myself to the bar after I pull, because I don't really do that in the power clean. I just try and pull it really high. I'm not very good at dropping underneath it. So yeah, that's going to be really helpful. So I think my hamstrings and glutes are extra sore as well because it is the second day after the sprints. And even though I didn't go crazy with the sprints and I only did one of the extensive tempos, I hadn't run in a long time. So it makes sense why I'd be extra sore there. So for those that are watching this, I'd love if you could comment what your current max vert is if you've tested. If you haven't tested, whether or not you can dunk, and what the best dunk is that you've hit. So my max vert I've tested on a Vertec is 39. I definitely think I could test 40 to 41, maybe even 42 if I just got better at actually aiming on the Vertec properly. And I worked out my best height check was somewhere around the 43, 44s, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I would love to know. So, and the best dunk I've hit would be the hardest, probably either the self-bounce windmill or the self-bounce pump reverse thingamajig. Yeah. So here I'm doing 5 sets of 5, 100 kilo pause back squats. Again, really liked how these were feeling. I'm getting a lot more comfortable with that bottom position as well. So by the end of this cycle, it should feel pretty damn good. And then I'll start to start up in the weight quite a bit after that. But yeah, still no knee issues. No front of the knee, no back of the knee issues. It's all been feeling really nice. So, overview of the workout: 6 sets of 3 clean pulls, going 80, 90, 100, and then 110, 110, 110. Then 5 sets of 5 pause back squats at 100 kilos. I then did 4 sets of 8 safety bar split squats, which were brutal. I had the craziest quad pump I've ever had in my life. You'll see it coming up. I did 1 set with my hands on like the handles, and then I decided to do the other sets hand supported. And I quite like the hand supported because it means I don't have to worry too much about the stability aspect of the lift, which isn't really what I'm doing them for anyway. And I can just focus on really overloading my quad, glute, everything by, holding onto the rack and then just pumping out the reps. So doing it that way, I will be able to overload it quite a bit and take some bigger jumps going forward. So I think I'm already starting to thicken up a bit. I'm weighing in about 81 and a half now. And I've been eating a ton of food. I feel like I'm eating bigger meals. I'm getting hungry quicker as well. And my sleep's been pretty decent. I'm sleeping on average about 7 hours. But I should probably be sleeping 8 to 9, especially during this phase. So I'm going to try to fix that. Some tips with your sleeping. So ideally, you want to try and cut out as much of your senses as possible. And what I mean by that is you don't want any light, you don't want any sound either. I guess you don't really want any smells, but that's not something I've really thought about. So something that really helps with that is I use an eye mask that is just completely blocks out any sort of light. That's also super helpful if you want to take a midday nap. But it's got a good amount of space, so your eyelashes and stuff don't touch anything. I use that every night now. I also sometimes use, not so much when I'm at home because it's pretty quiet, but if I need to, I'll use earplugs. That's another way of just shutting out any sort of noise. And then I also will use nasal strips to open up my airways. They work quite well, and I do quite like using those, so I use those most nights. Because it's not just about how long you sleep, but the quality. All right, so here's the hand-supported split squats. I much preferred how that felt. And yeah, gave me a fucking brutal quad pump. After this, I suppose I got on a tangent, but after this, I went to barbell hip thrusts, 120 kilos for 4 sets of 10, which I just recorded the 1 set of, and I only recorded the 2 sets of these. And then 4 sets of 15 leg curls, which I did not record because my phone had died. So here are the hip thrusts to close out the video. So I actually get to 8 reps, and then I have to put it down for a second because my hamstring starts cramping. And then I finish off the final 2. All right, and I will put the full workout here.